Hey everyone, it's Char from Char's Fashion Nation. I have to redo my intro because I'm missing a lot of footage for this video. If you would like to see how I crocheted this cute little witch's hat, then just keep on watching because I brewed up something funny. We are back this evening. It is evening, it's dark out, it's after 5, maybe getting around 6. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, it's 6:06 in the evening. Look what I found. These are off of Amazon. I don't remember the code off of these. I don't have a code for people anymore off of anything. So, I used to. So here's these are bamboo and metal. These ones, they could have done better, put like something here to hold these. That's easily remedied by some fabric glue and some fabric. Or an elastic banding piece just to hold it right there. Very fixable. Now, as for these ones on this side, I do like the ones that I can grip a lot better. My water sitting over here. I like the metal ones. Don't get me wrong. I do like these. These are very sturdy. These things will last you, unless of course you're me, forever. Unless of course you're me. And then you have the bamboo ones. These are nice. Bamboo crochet hooks. Just type that in. If you see the one with the same purple zippy pouch, you're good. So I thought maybe you just start this thing over because look at that mess. Oh my gosh. Like, how did they... You know what though? I bought this at the end aisle at Michael's Crafting, you know, the discounted section. That's probably why that's like that, because that, my friends, is in the discounted section. So let's go ahead and take that, and we shall just go back over here, twist it, and I will show you this part from my view. So let me get this turned around. Now, I honestly don't know how well you can see this. Probably see it better than yesterday, but I'm not too sure. So anyway, your tail, right? Your tail yarn, your working yarn. And how do I know? That's right, yeah. Okay, twist it. Take the tail. Okay. The tail yarn. And I'm going to show this to you all now better with this. And don't tighten that too tight. You need to have a little bit right there that, I'll just come up this way. You need to have a little bit right here that's open. You pull it a little tighter, not much. Okay, so when I start a piece, like I said, I'm going to show you guys this with the bigger hook here. Normally, I wouldn't use such a big one with such thin yarn. Screw it. Let's go with Old Faithful. Old Faithful is better. Oh my gosh. Depends on your yarn. You know who I miss being on YouTube that works with yarn? Crochet Me Too. Julia, I miss you. I'm still going to link her. So, anyway, without further ado, you kind of get that. You see like this part here with the tail, right? And then how I'm holding it with my hand. I think having the dark background like that might help you see a little better. I hope it does. Because once you get used to doing something like this, it's very handy. It's an excellent skill to have. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. You can knit, you can crochet, you can quilt, you can sew. You know, there's actually a lot of truck drivers out on the road that use this as a hobby, and it's a good hobby for them once they start to wind down after their day, or they're just getting started in their morning and they bring out their fiber crafting. There's actually from what I understand, from when my son was a truck driver before that trucking company went under, that he came across a lot of guys that was like, hey, you know any good stores around here for like yarn or fabric? And he's like, no, I don't do those things. He's like, my mom does. And I'm like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, why do you ask? So they were like, oh, because we're in this group of truckers that do knit, crochet, and make blankets, or we just plain and simple have a sewing machine that we travel with and sometimes get fabrics and make our own clothes. You know what though? They're saving money on the road. Now, as for me, I can sit here, I can do this, and if you look at the rate in which I'm going, right now, remember what I said, like right here with this part, you take your hook under the yarn and you pull it through that loop. Under the yarn, pull it through. Like I said, eventually you do get used to this. Now, in a moment, when this is long enough to go around the circumference of my noggin, which I can check right now. Oh, we're almost there. I'm like maybe about a couple of inches, which shouldn't take much longer, because after that is when we turn this, and I will show you what I do is I go back across to where the tail is, right? Sometimes, also depends on the yarn. And then I'll go like over, and then that's when I start to hook this together and crochet in the round. You can definitely crochet in the round as much as you can like knit in the round. Now there's several different ways of knitting in the round. Some of it can be very difficult, some of it can be very easy. I'm learning from Engineering Knit, which I will leave her listed, on how to fiber craft the patterns into stuff. Like, y'all, she makes some beautiful sweaters and hats and stuff like that. Just beautiful. And Morgan Donner does it too. Okay, let's see if this is big enough. Oh yeah, that's big enough. It might be a little too big, so let me take a couple of loops out. Actually, it might take like 4. 4 out, you have your loop. Stick the hook back in. Test it again. That's better. And then turn it to where the tail is at your other leg. So this is what I do at this point. A lot of people don't do this. A lot of people are like, oh, don't do that, don't do that. No, this is what I do. I go like that. and there's 2 on there. Then I take that and then I go back down. Now this is what's going to help you have enough at one end when you do this. So I only put 2 there. Now you can go ahead and grab it and then go to the next, or just go to the next and grab it. Go like this. Go like that again. And take it to your next one. Now I'm not skipping over any. I am just grabbing the next, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to chain 2 and then go to the next. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this all the way down, and then I'll be back to show you how I hook both ends together. Because at some point here, because like my hands get crampy when I do this, that's why sometimes this takes me a little longer. Sorry if my elbow was in the way. Sometimes this takes me a little longer anymore when like my Arthur's titties hurts. It's a joke. Rocco from Roaming with Rocco made that joke up. And no, I don't know when he's coming back because he has to go get a surgery done soon. Old ass Rocco. Pretty soon he's going to be 62 years old. You know that? 62. He's an old man. He gave me a story of like what they call him down in Florida. They call him Evil Santa. Come on. I guess that's because he wrote that down on something for one of his favorite breakfast places called the Stuffed Pig. That's actually a really good breakfast place in the Keys. So if you ever go down there, and then ask if Evil Santa's there. Some of the little kids, he told me this, he's like, some of the little kids thought he was Santa. He's like, no, I'm not Santa. I'm his brother, Evil Santa. And so these kids started to want to have their pictures taken with Evil Santa, which was funny. That is funny, right? So anyway, talking to you, I'll probably get this all like there, but then that might make the video too long. Did that even go through right? No. Working with this fuzzy yarn like this, like I've actually never used this fuzzy yarn before. So this one's new to use for me. I know a lot of people it isn't. But yeah, so this will be the inside of the hat because it looks like that. So anyway, let me get this chained all the way to the other side. Okay, so we're at the last couple of holes here. You know, places to loop through. And a lot of people be like, oh, why don't you just do this from the other end and bring it around? Because there's a reason why I do this a specific way. You will see that in a minute. Hold your tail yarn while you do this piece. Just trust me on that. You actually really need to do that. Okay, so this is super important. So I want you to take this loop here and pull it like that. Just leave it alone for a minute. Right? Leave that alone. And then take this like this, right? This is one way I do this. And that's also a way to make sure that this does not twist. If this is a twisty mess, you have an issue. And what I do on one end, when I can get this to go, holy crap noids. On this part, make sure that you have your tail. This is important because you're going to loop that through again, pull it all the way through, pull it all the way through, and then guess what? You're going to make a knot right there. Ooh, that might not be the best yarn ever. That seriously might not be the best yarn ever. Now that you have that knot in there, and you now want to put your tail down, and then you want to go into the top portion of this, which is right here. Match that up as close as possible. And sometimes, depending on your yarn, sometimes it can be a little stressful, even if you have to pull a little piece up there. Take that back through your working yarn loop. Now what I'm going to do here, make sure the tail ain't in the way. What I'm going to do here is that you only want to do a single loop. Just a single loop on that. And then you can, however, just to secure this again, got to be careful because like that one part of that yarn is not the best quality. Remember that. So like be super careful, super diligent when you're doing this, because some of this yarn that they've had sitting forever at Michael's Crafting, it really changed since the last time I went there. So I'm gonna clip that off, obviously with my favorite pair of handy dandy scissors that I keep at the sewing machine. Grab this, and that will also mark the back. Now when you do a hat like this, what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to take this one loop back. I'm going to show you why in a minute. This helps to secure your work. So this does actually help to secure that. Why am I doing that? Yeah, we want that. And then now this is where you just continue to do that. Now instead of doing a double chain, I'm going to do a single chain on this one. And I made some really good soup tonight, right? Poor Rob, he's been asking me to make soup, and I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll make some soup. I made some soup tonight. And he went out just to grab a couple of things for the house, and he found these really nice bowls, and he picked them up. He's like, here, I got these because I thought maybe you would like these bowls. They're the Chinese soup bowl, and oh my gosh, they're pretty. So he's like, here, I thought you might like these. It's like, oh my god, they're so pretty. So we used them tonight. A couple of them. He got 4. The Dollar General's picking up their A game. Now this is what it looks like so far. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain this all the way around. Yeah, I'm going to chain stitch this all the way around, and then we'll be back. We probably won't get this finished tonight, so we'll see. I still have enough time, even though it's like dark out. Now that I've brought this full circle, this is the back. Now with this yarn, you won't really be able to tell because it does fade in together. And then what I will do is a trim band around the bottom when I am done with this. That is just something that I do. Now on this, again, just do that. We're going to be doing this particular stitch through most of the hat. Now, people would be like, what do you mean stitch? Well, this is obviously a different way to put a garment together. You can, and I have made sweaters. I have crocheted sweaters. And I will tell you that takes a due diligence of a month to make a full-on long sleeve, front and back, you know, and the front pieces being open, buttonholes, and, you know, some fancy crochet trim, and a belt, because I've done that. Yeah, it takes a full-on month to do. Now, I gave away my first one to somebody that actually turned out being very ungrateful. Just very, very ungrateful. And that's sad too, because I worked really, really hard on that sweater. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think if I do anything anymore, like make something for someone, you know, I'm not going to be like, oh, I made this and I'm just going to give it away. That's going to be like sometimes, but not all the time, because, you know, not everybody these days appreciates handcrafted garments. Just quite literally. Nobody actually appreciates it, unless it's, of course, the fiber crafter themselves, and then you can appreciate your own hard work. You know? Absolutely. So as you can see right here, we got pretty far. Here's the back. We're almost to like the front middle. And that will be like, honestly, like, again, there's the back. We're already at the front middle with just that one. Now, I'm trying to do these a little looser because of the exact yarn. You don't want to have your loops too small, or you won't be able to do this, period. Especially when you start, because you saw that my struggle was real. So when you start doing a hat, and if you've seen my older videos, you've seen that I've done some very decorative hat pieces. Kind of silly, but kind of cool. But it did take a little while. Now for me, making a hat takes about, also depends on my day, because like I'm super busy, like I have been lately, then a hat may take me days to make. Or a hat might take me a half an hour or 3 hours, depending on my day. Or my week, actually my month, however it's going to go. If I have certain things that I have to do in a month, then yes, that will take longer. And I think I just looped that one wrong. Yes, I did. Make sure you always check that. Make sure that you did not loop wrong. Or your work will look funny. And we all do our work different, so If you're just wondering, we do it different. In fact, most of us even hold our work different. Oh my gosh. It's weirdly like it's the beginning of the year. We still don't have any snow. I know a lot of people out there that y'all got some snow. Here in South Jersey, y'all, we still don't have snow. And I'm honestly thinking because of all the earthquakes, tsunami, and the fact that we're over 10,000 years behind in an ice age, the earth is pissed off. And the earth herself is probably about ready to hit the reset button. On that, I am, not going to be surprised. Our neighbors, oh my gosh, our elder neighbors are like, they've been having certain things done to their homes, like they're getting ready for a freaking apocalypse. And y'all should be getting ready for the ice age. Okay, now that we're back here at the back, right? And you saw that because I came through right here. What I'm going to do, and I should have done this, is take it through like that. And then what I want you to do is take that loop through. Now, at this point, I will be continuing because I want to secure that better. That's why I did that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this piece until we start dropping some stitches to shape the hat until it comes to the top closure. So here's a good laugh, because I try these as I'm going, right? Like, what is going on? We started out with this thing fitting my cranium. Like, now it's just gotten smaller with each round. And I didn't start taking it in. That's the thing. Like, I'm not taking this apart. I will tell you that. I am not going to do that. Now, when something like that happens, and that could just be like the top skull cap part of this, what you do, and what I will show you, because this looks silly, is what I will do is take the bottom of it and start doing some work there to make it bigger. The way this is looking, this is kind of funny too. It's starting to cone. I kept thinking to myself, you know what? That would make kind of a cute witch's hat. I don't know. I've kind of had like a little thing. I grew up around witches, the elder witches, and they would teach me how to sew and knit and crochet and cook and camp outside, cook over an open fire, very kitschy things. So there's, oh, I don't know what happened. We started out with this like pretty big, and like I said, and you can see what in the world happened here. And it's not even over my ponytail, so that's just basically just the top of my head. It looks like one of those little Jewish caps, you know what I mean? But that's kind of funny. What is that called? Anyway, you know what I mean. So what I'm going to do is I will finish this portion, and then when I come back, I will show you how we take this part here and make it larger because I don't know. I honestly keep doing the same stitch, and it should not be coning in like that. That would make a cute collar though. Not make a cute collar, just that shape would make a cute collar. But anyway, that's not what we're doing with this. So it's super soft, super warm. Got this big thing for like, what was it, $7. And normally a big Caring yarn cake like this is Caring yarn, would be more like $12 now. For a Caring yarn cake like that used to be $7. No more than 10, but $7. And when they used to put these on sale, they used to be $4 on sale. Things have ridiculously changed. Anyway, like I said, and I was trying to watch Good Omen while doing this. I don't know what happened. I was just watching season 1 and all of a sudden Amazon cut it off. Like, why? I was enjoying that. I was adamant about watching it. And they did an homage to Doctor Who because one of the characters played the part of Doctor Who. So what I'm doing is the stitch that I was doing, going all the way around, and it just seems to be making this cone, and I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, if I don't make a hat, adult size hat, something like this would be a cute child's hat, children's hat. Now, I've done those too. I've crocheted baby clothes before for people, and they enjoyed that. One doctor I had, her daughter was giving birth to twins, so I had crocheted a full-on 2 sweaters, 2 baby hats, and the little baby booties, which were so adorable. And her daughter was giving birth to twin girls, so I just made him the cutest, like with the little ruffles around the edge, the little scallop ruffles and all. And she loved it. And she's like, "How much do I owe you?" And I'm like, "Oh, no. No. It's a hobby. It's like YouTube, Rumble, all my social media. I do have some people on there that, I just enjoy spending some time with online. And then there's people online that I'm not that close to, but like I will share, like stuff like this with. So anyway, to you, this didn't take that long, but to me, this actually, it took a couple of episodes of Good Omen to get this far. It did. So there is that. And I stopped and talked to my friend Rocco from Roaming with Rocco for a moment. He's living with a hernia. Yes, I know that's also a Weird Al song. Like I said, he's like almost 62, so that's going to be hard on him. He told his cousin that like he can't sit in the shop and answer the phone for him. For a while, he has to just sit back and relax. I told him, well, start getting your RV all clean and tidy. That way you're able to be comfortable. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm already doing that on my downtime. His cousin owns a business. So yeah. Well, like I said, you do this long enough, and then you just go through this so quick, right? You know, the other thing I like doing with stuff like this is if I make a stuffed animal, something like this would be a piece of the stuffed animal's clothing, because sometimes I like to do that with stuffed animals for kids, and that way it's more fun for them. I should check into doing like stuffed animals for Shriners kids, because I was a Shriners kid. And a lot of those kids don't have anybody to come see them, and they don't, other than the Shriners, they don't have nobody else. And boy, do I know that from experience, that there's actually a lot of Shriners kids that doesn't have anybody that literally cares about them except for the Shriner that is their host. And that's about it. So it's like, that's sad. So yeah, I might check into that, because these kids, like myself, was wheelchair bound. Gonna end up there again, but it's not gonna stop me from living. And getting my blood drawn 3 times a day. That was horrible. That was a horrible experience. I didn't like Mrs. Rogers. She was mean. She threatened to throw me in an ice bath if I didn't let him take my blood. Another nurse came along because she heard what Mrs. Rogers said. And she's like, "Excuse me?" Oh, she defended me. She's like, "The hell you are? The hell you are going to torture this kid like that?" Because I was just like, I was refusing. I was crying like any kid would be scared in that kind of situation, you know? And she took one of those little butterfly needles and she gently put it in the back of my hand. And she's like, "This is only going to hurt for a second." And I trusted this one nurse. She was so cool. She used to teach us how to play poker. She's like, "If Mrs. Rogers comes in, you're playing Go Fish." So that was our tell-all. So Mrs. Rogers came in and I'm like, "Go fish." And they're like, "Mrs. Rogers is here, isn't she?" And I'm like, "Mm-hmm." They're like, "Okay, do you have a..." And I'm like, "Go fish." And that was our code word. You know, even though we had school while we were in Shriners, we did have to attend class. Unless there was a reason that we couldn't. Other than that, we had to attend class. Now, I will say that about Shriners, they do have classrooms for the kids so that they don't miss out on their education. So that is one of the reasons why I advocate, to people about Shriners Hospital. Now look, I got more on there. So I'm going to finish this off to the top, and then when we come back, because we're already like going too long on this video, and then I'll show you how I will widen the bottom, because that is capable of happening. Okay, it's getting late now. It's like 9:31. That's one of my children. That's 9:31 at night. Now, I will actually get this done tonight. It'll upload late, so, oh well, it'll be up. So what I'm going to do, because if you see here, I told you I might make that into just like some cute little fun witch hat point on there. So this means, because I'm doing this from the inside, right? So there is a point where you want to go ahead and cut you a good length of the yarn, because you want to make sure, do you have enough of that on that end? Now the other thing that I do, yes, my crochet hooks and my knitting needles always end up right there in my hair when my hair is in a ponytail. Take the needle, not needle, take the hook through here, get your loop, which by the way, make sure that's not tangled with this because that can happen. Then the wrong thing happens. So let's try to make sure that doesn't. So take that loop, go ahead and put that back on there. Pull this. The loop is now on here. Be easier if I have this inside out like I started with, and then make sure that that is on there like so, tight enough to where magically on this side you can pull the loop through. Did that catch? We seem to have two magic loops. Like that was supposed to be one. That was supposed to be one loop. This can happen sometimes. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm trying to figure out how did that even happen. So you have that, and you have to find your actual loop to this. That's strange. Anyway, hold on, we'll fix that. So what I'm going to do right here, because I have the loop, I'm going to make another loop so it doesn't make a flu-boo. And now, magically, we have our loop through. Keep that from tangling anything, put it in your hair. Now, this is the point that when you go to work this up, this yarn will come out because you obviously need that to happen. Another thing you can do is just go ahead and put your crochet hook back in there, hook it on there, and pull that through, because you honestly, at this point, you honestly need to do that. And make sure that your loop is secured. One way that you can do that is like what I just did, is hold that on your thumb. So as you're pulling this through, you don't accidentally mess up that loop. And now we have that pulled through, right? This is cute just the way it is. If I knew anybody that was having a little girl, I would probably just make this like a floral hat for a little girl. But sadly, I don't. I don't know anybody having a little girl. But yeah. So now that we have that, we can go ahead and close off the top. Now, how I'm going to close off the top and then put this back through is I will leave a length so that I can pop that back through and tie it on the inside. Now you might be like, oh, well, that's just a lot of work. Well, it's how I do this though. So take this through. Now, what I'm doing to close this off at the top is I'm not doing that chain to have the two loops and then a single. I'm just doing an actual, I don't even know why I told you the other one was a single. So this is an actual single. I don't know, maybe I accidentally told you that because like I haven't crocheted in a while. Been a while. It's been since I think sometime last year, the year before that. Now right here, because the pointy part, don't pull that loop through. Go ahead and chain 2. And then you want to take that through there. See, I want all the way through on the other side. Pull that. And then pull that through, right? And now, I'm going to say, like, this is almost your full-on witch's cap. Start. It's almost at a full point. Not all of those hats, and if you want to know, those were actually what they call witches, was actually like your midwife or your healer, just like your village healer. That's all a witch ever was. I don't know why people think they're evil. Like, those were midwives and healers and your medicine woman. That's all they ever were, ever still are. So, now, same thing. Take your crochet hook through, loop it, catch it, pull it back through, and then we can just do the same thing on the other side. Make the loop and tie it in a knot, and then what I will do from that point is start on the outer rim to make it bigger. Like I said, this is so adorable. Like, this would be so cute for a baby. But I don't have any granddaughters. I only have grandsons. But, yeah. So, hook that through, because you know you need to make your loop. So choose one of those holes to poke your crochet hook through. So I have that working loop right here, and then pull another one through. Let's pull this through at this point. Just go like that. That's all there is to that. Go like that. You have knotted it. It's not that hard. I know I don't have nails on. They popped off today, but that's okay. That's for a whole other video. Oh, well, it kind of needed to come off. So now we have that. And now that we do have that, like I said, it's kind of cute. Let me find my start point. That is one thing I always do, is find where I started on this. We're right here. So what I will do is just take one of my sewing clips. It just happened to be blue because that's the back. This is so stinking cute. So yeah, now it's just time to start the rest of this. This looks so silly. And now to do that, obviously I will take the crochet hook and we will start at that back point. Honestly, we don't need that piece, so we'll just set this over here. Now, sometimes what I do with my scrap pieces, if I knit or crochet a stuffy, this becomes the inners, and mixed with fabric scrap. So that's actually how I take a lot of my scraps and use them up as making stuffed animals for kids or people with special needs, because sometimes they need a stuffy. I know I have to finish one. Gotta find all of her parts. And if I can't, she'd be kind of Frankenstein. So, okay. Now we're just going to take this, loop it. I did that the wrong way, y'all. Like, you know what? No, there is a way to do it like that because it's going to be covered. Loop it through. Take that tail yarn, right? Take the tail. And you're going to make the knot with the tail in this piece. And then go like that. And you have doubled your knot. Don't worry about your tail piece. Just take this. And now what you're going to do is you're going to add extra in. So when you go in and you make a loop, go back, go back in there, grab it up again, and go one over, bring it up. There's your 2. Now take this and go 1, 2, go over, and then 1, 2, and now you're increasing. Now, because this is where we actually started, you want to strengthen that. So I'm going to recommend that right here you pull that up and do it twice, because you want to strengthen that point on your work. 2. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this all the way around, increase, and then when it comes to that point right there, again on the larger part of it, we'll be back. This is already going to be like 30-something minutes. So I have decided I've come a long way on this. Trust me, it's almost midnight. It's going to be whatever time of the morning when this uploads. So this will be done anyway. So now we're on the last little bits of this before I tie this in a knot and show it to you. Now right here, I will show you that I have done these cute scalloped edges on here, like I was thinking about doing anyway. So yeah. And then just take it back in that same area. And then 1, 2. And we want to make sure that we've ended it close enough to where this is, because that's where we obviously started. And then we go back in one more time. Yes, I made these scalloped edges pretty dang, big, but that's the point. So we are basically done with this. So do a couple more scalloped edges and we are done. So I hope you all have had fun watching me make this hat. And I will try it on in a minute. Obviously, I'll take that out of my hair, but I don't want to make this one too big. I kind of want to make this, now that I thought about it. You want to know how much yarn I have left? There's enough here for about, I'm going to say 3 more of these, or just one big one. That's true. Or to knit. Ooh, that's what I'll do with this. The next one with the same skein of yarn That's right, skein of yarn. I will knit a hat with that. So again, we do that, and it's naughty. And I didn't obviously need the scissors too much. That's the only downside to this particular yarn, is you have to be like super careful with it. Or it'll snap like that. It'll snap on you. So make sure that we have the inside in and the right side out. And I'm just going to tuck that in there just to show it to you right here. Oh, we can get that all the way through. So yeah, like I said, I hope you have enjoyed watching this very long tutorial. Isn't that kind of cute? I mean, not too many people would think this is cute. I think it's kind of cute. I'm just going to keep this silly witch hat hanging around my room somewhere. Maybe it'll go on Mannequin. She's always bewitching. Anyway, let me know kindly in the comments below, how do you like this silly hat? And you want to see me knit one and do a crocheted scallop edging? If so, kindly in the comments below, let me know. And stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. This is adorable, and I could always extend it later on if I want. It's gonna fit like that right now because I have my hair, as always, in my ponytail. Anyway, see you later. Oh, wait. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to, while I'm talking to you, take a picture because it's bewitchingly funny. Anyway, see you in the next one, and that could be doing my nails. Bye.